Julian, thank you,
for
this interview. Very first question, you represent all the cinema advertising companies in the world, 36?
36, 35, yes.
Sorry.
Something like that.
So, what's the global state of advertising in cinemas today?
Yeah, we are, I would say, only now finally getting back to, I think it's very similar to the exhibitors, the pre-pandemic levels. 2019, just before the pandemic, was incredibly good year for cinema goers. So I think it's a little bit unfair to always be talking about that as a comparative year. But the triple, in a way, challenge has been that cinema as an advertising channel, but also for filmmakers and cinema goers, has not just needed to recover in terms of people realizing that going to the cinema is a really nice habit to get back into, like people are getting used to with restaurants and hotels and other hospitality sectors of the industry. But with cinema, the incredible complexity of the supply of movies, whether that's from Hollywood or around the world, local movies as well, was completely disrupted. With the cinemas closed, that had a major, obviously, knock-on effect to movies that were in production that then had to be paused. A lot of filmmakers from the industry left the industry, if they're perhaps grips or carpenters and so on, who had to survive. Then the movies were being made and the cinemas closed again, and then local movies had a chance to come out. So there was a lot of confusion that echoed around the public, I think, in terms of what does it mean to go to the cinema. Unfortunately, it meant that through necessity, perhaps, or maybe through experimentation, a lot of film distributors had to squeeze the exclusivity windows during those years, which are now thankfully much improved. We had a very invigorating CinemaCon this year where pretty much every distributor is pledging 45 days as an exclusivity window for celebrating the movies, and Disney is typically much higher than that on average as well. So it's becoming a lot clearer for the general public to understand where cinema fits in their social life and in the supply of new content. Mm-hmm. So the chance to actually understand from a marketeer's perspective that there's now a new movie coming out and have the chance to go and see it before it then loses that exclusivity is incredibly positive news now that we're getting. And the slate of movies that we're seeing over this year and next are extremely encouraging. And that obviously plays perfectly into cinema advertising. The admissions are climbing back. Most territories now are seeing positive gains, and Gen Zs, we're seeing an increase on, I think, 30%. Has risen up to 41% of those Gen Zs that tend to go to the cinema at least 6 times a year. So that's been a nice 10% increase approximately, depending on how you look at it. 30 to 40 is not really a 10% increase if you do the maths, but it's very encouraging how we're getting back on track as a wider cinema industry, including cinema advertising.
Do you think advertising is enough considered, because we talk about movies, obviously, which is main on the business model of exhibition. Movie tickets are the main revenue, is the main revenue. You have F&B, and the third one is advertising. And do we think we carry enough attention to advertising?
I think it's intimate. The relationship that cinema goers have and exhibitors have to cinema advertising is subtly different in different territories. I think Europe has a very strong and well-established acceptance of cinema advertising, comparatively speaking, where, of course, on average, we do hope that cinema advertisers rise up to the bar of cinema quality, but by and large, people enjoy watching an ad in the cinema compared to other media. because they're already in this incredible environment. They're already having a good time. They've already got their F&B. They've seated down with high anticipation of having an immersive experience, and sitting through some ads and trailers with that incredible big picture, big sound, and a captive auditorium, where there's that social etiquette, that social norm that we don't have our phones on, we don't bother people, all adds to the memory of that evening out, that shared experience with friends and with strangers.
What's the next step for advertising in cinemas? Is it programmatic or something else?
Slowly. I like the quote we had in today's seminar where Valerie was saying that cinema isn't a medium, it's a stage. And I think different agencies might choose cinema to be categorized differently to others. Is it a premium video channel? Is it out of home? But ultimately it's cinema. It has its challenges, it has its nuances, it has the obligation for the creative to rise to the challenge of what people really will enjoy when they're enjoying a brand message. What emotion will they have by the time they've experienced that brand message? So the traditional buying and selling of cinema is still very important, because the use of cinema as a medium and the ability to sell that idea or to buy that idea needs people who are not only passionate about cinema as a medium, but also are acutely aware of how to best exploit cinema as a stage for that brand. But that can't continue as a 100% way of buying and selling. So programmatic is already here for cinema. Many countries of our members have started to buy and sell programmatically. In Germany, Weische Cinema has been doing that for a few years now. Also, America, Canada, some parts of Scandinavia, buying and selling programmatically, which is inevitable that cinema has to go that way in order to become easy, targeted, part of a ad tech media plan, where the ability to include cinema as part of the media mix is with as the few roadblocks as possible. Access to maybe digital budgets, different categories, different departments of buying agencies, but also in a way that doesn't dilute what cinema is and what cinema can be, in terms of its premium, visceral, high attention, high emotional control channel, where people are buying a ticket to have an evening out and be entertained, and to thank the brand for entertaining them, to thank the brand for giving them a special piece of creative that perhaps they wouldn't have otherwise got elsewhere.
Okay. Thank you very much, Julian.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.